Have you ever noticed how some men enter a room and instantly lose their power, while others say almost nothing yet leave a mark that lingers? The difference isn't charm or rehearsed lines, it's presence, authenticity, and the courage to stand unmasked. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. What you carry inside always shows on the outside." Core message: most men think they must act like flawless, conquerors, loud, polished, overflowing with confidence. She has already met 100 men wearing that mask. What she rarely meets is a man real enough to reveal strength through honesty, not performance. Vulnerability, when not begged for, is magnetic. It disarms her because it shows you are human, grounded, fearless enough to be genuine. Example in Stoic insight: think of it like this. When you buy a mask, it might look beautiful, but it's hollow. The same is true with men who perform. Epictetus reminded us, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. If you show up desperate, she feels it instantly. If you enter calm, aware of strengths and flaws, your reaction shifts the entire energy of the room. Practical perspective: instead of trying to impress her with pre-packaged compliments, "You're beautiful," "You're amazing," ask questions that touch her inner world. Not, "What do you do?" but "What excites you most about what you do?" Not, "Where are you from?" but "What place changed how you see life?" These questions carry depth. They show you're not here to win approval, you're here to see. Closing thought: a woman isn't a puzzle to solve or a prize to chase. She's a human soul with layers to discover. Seneca said, "We are always complaining that our days are few, acting as though there would be no end of them." Stop wasting time on shallow games. Be still, be real, and let your presence reveal itself. The strongest seduction is not noise, it's truth, lived quietly and fearlessly. Your physical presence is either your strongest ally or your greatest weakness. Some men walk into a room and everyone turns their head not because of looks or height, but because of what Machiavelli called silent authority. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Presence is not performed, it is lived. Eye contact is the first signal. Insecure men avoid it, or they overdo it, turning it into intimidation. Both reveal weakness. The Stoic gaze is calm, steady, never desperate. When she speaks, look into her eyes as if her words matter, because they do. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." True attention is rare, and it is powerful. Body language is the next layer. Mirror her posture, but with subtlety. If she leans in, follow naturally. If she crosses her legs, adjust calmly. This creates unspoken harmony. Think of 2 musicians playing in sync. The rhythm connects without words. In the same way, when your body moves with hers, she feels it without knowing why. And then comes silence, the most feared tool by most men. They panic when a pause appears, filling it with empty jokes or needless chatter. But silence, when owned, is strength. Seneca reminded us, silence is a lesson learned from the many sufferings of life. When she pauses, let her breathe. Hold steady. Your calm silence tells her you are secure, that you do not need to beg for her attention. Presence, eye contact, body language, and silence. These are not tricks. They are reflections of inner discipline. A man who carries himself with patience, awareness, and calm certainty becomes unforgettable. He does not chase. He does not perform. He simply is asterisk. And in a world full of noise, that kind of presence is what makes her remember you long after you've gone. Authenticity doesn't mean spilling your entire life story or drowning her in confessions. It means speaking from your values with calm strength. If you are passionate about something, share it with genuine energy. If you hold a conviction, express it with respect. Epictetus taught, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. A man who knows himself does not need to act. This is where strategic vulnerability becomes powerful. Most men confuse vulnerability with neediness. They unload their wounds, hoping for sympathy. But true strength is revealing a controlled weakness that shows character, not desperation. For example, instead of confessing, "I've struggled with self-esteem since childhood," you might say, "I've learned to trust my instincts more, even when it's hard." The first is a plea for rescue. The second is growth. When she shares something painful, resist the urge to fix it. Most men leap into solutions, giving advice she never asked for. Seneca reminded us, sometimes even to live is an act of courage. What she needs is not a consultant but a companion. Simply say, "That must have been hard," or "I can imagine how that felt." These words create safety, showing her you can stand with her in the storm. Real connection is built in these moments of presence. By noticing her expressions, tone, and pauses, you show attention most men never give. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself." The same is true in love. It is not about control or fixing, but about being fully there. A man grounded in calm presence, capable of listening without judgment, becomes unforgettable. After building trust, the decisive moment comes, revealing interest without falling into neediness. Many men destroy what they've built by speaking from a place of lack. They say, "I really like you. Hope you'll give me a chance." These words place their worth in her hands, and nothing is less attractive. Machiavelli reminded us that power comes from abundance, not scarcity. The Stoic man speaks differently. He expresses preference, not desperation. I enjoyed our time together, and I'd like to see where this could go. Notice the difference. You are not asking for permission. You are showing choice. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When you speak from inner security, she feels it. Consider the man who constantly texts, calls, and demands answers. His need for control suffocates attraction. Contrast that with the man who gives space, who trusts time, who has a full life beyond her attention. Seneca wrote, "He suffers more than necessary." Who suffers before it is necessary? The needy man creates suffering that was never there. The secure man moves with patience. When you demonstrate inner abundance, relaxed posture, calm, breathing, genuine smile, you show that you are complete with or without her. This constancy is rare. Epictetus reminded us, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. A man with few needs radiates strength, and that is the kind of presence that lingers long after the moment ends. Attraction is destroyed when a man communicates from emptiness. Begging for affection places all value in her response. But when you speak from inner choice, you shift the balance. Machiavelli said true power comes from abundance, not scarcity. A man who chooses is never desperate. The right words matter. Instead of pleading, "I really like you. I hope you'll give me a chance," speak with calm intent. "There's something about you that draws me and I'd like to explore this more." This is not need, it is clarity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When your words rise from strength, they carry weight." Patience is also part of this power. The needy man texts nonstop, waiting for every reply like oxygen. The disciplined man has a full life. He waits naturally because his time is already rich. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." Her timing, her attention, these are not yours to control. Your calm restraint speaks louder than any words. In presence, show your abundance. Relaxed posture, steady breath, genuine smile. These subtle signals tell her you are whole. Seneca reminded us, "A man who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than necessary." By not rushing, not clinging, you avoid unnecessary suffering and show strength that endures. This is the language of choice, of calm authority. A man who carries himself with patience and discipline never asks for permission. To exist in her world, he invites her into his. In a world full of men wearing masks, true strength is to remain constant and real. Most change their behavior, shifting personalities to match what they think she wants. But authenticity in changing.com Grounded is what makes you unforgettable. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This is the discipline of constancy. Strategic patience separates the secure man from the desperate one. He does not chase or cling. He allows attraction to unfold like fine wine, growing richer with time. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." By mastering your impulses, waiting, observing, standing firm, you show freedom that cannot be faked. Think of presence as a steady flame. Others flicker and burn out, but your light remains. Seneca reminded us, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, or a man perfected without trials." Consistency is built through trials, and it's what makes her remember you when others fade. The man who stands unchanged, week after week, month after month, becomes the one she cannot ignore. True power and attraction doesn't come from tricks or manipulation. It comes from being so secure in yourself that your authenticity itself becomes magnetic. And that is something no course or game can teach, is forged only through discipline, reflection, and courage to live truthfully. Be the man who does not perform, but simply is *calm, real, unshakable.